It's the 57th annual Chicago Sun-Times BPA Beat the Champs Contest Target Score Show, which allows you, the viewer, to play right along. Setting the target scores today are appearing for a record 5th time on the Beat the Champs telecast, 2017 U.S. Open champion and reigning PWBA Player of the Year, Liz Johnson. And 3-time tour titleist, he's the 2016 U.S. Open champion, Francois Lavoie. Today's telecast is brought to you by the Metropolitan Chicago Bowling Proprietors, the Chicago Sun-Times, Brunswick Bowling Products, Cubica AMF, Hammer Bowling, Storm Products, Miller High Life, KR Strikeforce, and OnTheBallBowling.com. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt coming to you from Elk Grove Bowl in the Chicago northwestern suburbs, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. And working with me this year, no stranger to this show, he has 12 PBA titles and he set the target score 2 of the last 3 years. Welcome, Sean.
Thanks, Jan. So glad to be here today and looking forward to a great day.
And talk to us, Sean. Let's give the audience a little insight. This type of show versus a PBA show. What's your mindset? Is it different?
No, not at all. It doesn't matter who you're facing, whether it's one of the best of all time with Liz Johnson, Walter Ray Williams Jr., Parker Bone, Pete Weber. You want to win. So it's going to be a little interesting to see how the game starts today and who comes out on top at the end.
All right, let's talk about a different mindset, ESP. Who do you think is going to score the best today?
Well, I'm going to go with Liz, just watching how practice started today. Her reaction's a lot better. She's really good at going down and in. And with Frankie being the first-time rookie guy, I'm going to give him be the underdog.
All right, well, let's talk with our champions. And Liz, come on in here. 6 U.S. Opens, that's unbelievable. And all of your other accolades we'll talk about during the show. How have you been able to remain so dominant?
Just for me is just remaining healthy throughout my career and still loving to bowl. You know, I still have a passion and a love for the sport, and sometimes it gets tougher as I get older and to travel and keep up with. Got to keep up with a lot of the young bowlers out there right now, and it's where you got to stay healthy and really be on top of your game.
And you're definitely on top of your game, and we love watching you. Thanks, Liz. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, Liz and Jan. Frankie, you heard me already. I said that you're the underdog and Liz is going to win. What do you think it's going to take down one of the best of all time?
Well, like you said, she's one of the best. So, I expect her to bowl great. I expect her to throw some great shots, and I'll have to make sure I'm at the top of my game and I throw some great shots and just have to be a little bit better than she is.
Well, we wish you all the best and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to a good one. We'll be right back with Game 1 after these messages.
Known for its perfect storm of tiny bubbles, it has long been called the champagne of beers.
If you've got the time,
welcome to the High Life.
We've got the beer, Miller Beer.
For some, it's 300. For others, it's breaking 100. But it's about so much more than the score. It's about the experience. 10 frames, infinite possibilities. Wishes are granted, hearts broken. Bonds become stronger than ever. It's so much more than gutter balls and strikes. It's the perfect game. Let's go bowling.
All right, Liz Johnson, here again, is going to throw the first shot for the 57th annual Chicago Sun-Times BPA Beat the Champs Target Score Show.
And a trip forward to start it off.
Amazing, as we said at the top of the show, fifth appearance here, 6 U.S. Open titles. That's, I can't even comprehend that number.
Well, Liz decided to move to the Chicago area because she knew she was going to bowl this event every year. So,
good move. And first look and Beat the Champs at Francois Lavoie.
pretty good.
I think he's out to prove you wrong. I mean, you said Liz had the better look, so he's going to show you.
Well, we'll just give him the rookie jitters shot out of the way. 24 years old, up-and-coming player on the PBA Tour, has proven himself already with 3 national titles, 1 being a major. In my mind, his second title, almost more important than the first, beating one of the greatest of all time with Walter Ray Williams Jr. in Reno at the World Series a couple years ago. So, great player. Off to a quick start.
Yeah, look at that. From Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. He came away.
He did, but now he lives in Wichita, bowled for
Okay.
Wichita State. Of course, a powerhouse in the college industry. Still lives there to this day. And a good shot for Liz. A double to start for both.
Yeah. Let's keep them going. Keep those
For both
strikes.
of them throwing doubles to start and not having great looks to start practice. The lanes are starting to transition already, so oil's starting to push down.
Does that ever happen to you when you
Oh, yeah, all
think
the
you have
time.
nothing, then you do have something, or you think you have something
Absolutely.
and you have nothing when when lights go on?
A lot of times it's more the opposite way, where I feel like I can't miss in practice, and then the first couple shots I don't strike and I panic. So it's a good thing when you get the first couple to strike. The swing gets looser.
There's that 10 pin. Everyone that bowls enough sees a number of those. Liz won PWBA Player of the Year again. It's her third consecutive Player of the Year, and that's amazing, because all of the young talent coming out, all of the young gals with all the training, they're really good. And
Well,
for her to still be
Correct, and
that
it's the same thing on the PBA Tour, where you look at the consistency of the players. That's why Walter Ray has won so many Player of the Years, and Norm Dukes, Liz Johnson, the ones that bowl all year long, stay consistent, fill frames, make cuts, and find ways to win. So
going a little bit high on that one. You said there was quite a bit of hook on the lanes.
there's a
from
lot
what
of
you're
friction
watching.
to start. TV lights always helps make the lanes have more of a gripping sensation to them, and with those reactive balls being as strong as they are, I like to change direction quite a bit once it sees friction. So good spare there, still even through 3.
Francois has been a member of Team Canada 4 times, so he has a wealth of experience coming into tour, though.
Correct, absolutely. Team play mostly with Team Canada. There is some individual bowling through the singles events and the Masters events, but he's been able to travel the world and represent his country, which will give him a lot more experience as well, adapting to different things.
Right back on it. You have experience, obviously, traveling the world.
Just a little.
And we were talking earlier, and it's an easy year for you, right? You only were on the road 220 days this year.
Yeah, I think it was easier. 13 different countries I visited this year, whether it was through bowling events and clinics and, trying to grow the game. But it's a different breed when you see some of the other players around the world. We all have the same goal in mind when we bowl, of course, right? Is knocking all 10 down in one shot or trying to make that spare the second shot. But people treat it differently. They respect it differently. Some practice every day, some don't. But it's nice that we are such a global sport, and you can see it anywhere.
Yeah, that's exhausting. That kind of travel is exhausting. But
It's very exhausting. About 125,000 miles in the air this year, so if you start doing the math, it's a lot of time in a plane.
all right, we're into the 5th frame, so it's the Miller High Life Charity Strikes.
My charity is the Buddy Foundation. It's a nonprofit animal rescue. I'm an animal lover, of course. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and just always been a lover of animals, so it's close to my heart. Come on.
Good shot.
Hey,
There she strikes. So 1 for 1 for Liz. If I'm not mistaken, last year she didn't miss, so
I think you're right.
no pressure this year. Frankie's first time for the charity strike.
The charity I chose is Children's Defense Fund. Anything to do with children. Children are the future. And the Children's Defense Fund, they really strive to give every child a chance at a decent life, a chance at a good future, even though they might not be born in the right circumstances. So I think that's very important for children in general and for the future of society, really.
Got a chance?
Yeah.
Another $100.
Thank you, Miller High Life. A lot of pressure on those strikes because you want to You want to do well. And
Well, yeah,
help
I
charity.
know the 2 times I've bowled, the only time I wanted to strike was the 5th and 10th frame, more than importantly, of course. But you still want to make the best shot possible every other time and fill those frames and put some pressure on. So.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
First
4, 6,
mistake,
7.
a little slow, and leaves the dreaded 4, 6, 7. And Liz takes the lead on the bench, going in the
Yes.
commercial.
Yes. This is rarely picked up.
It is. I can actually attest that I just made this at the World Series of Bowling a month ago in Reno. Extremely lucky. Shoot the 2 on the left and hope one of them bounce out of the back.
Well, not on that shot. Both of them, though, $100 for their charities. And Miller High Life Charity Strikes. Stay tuned for more.
Get Chicago's best sports coverage every day in the Chicago Sun-Times. From game day to players' picks, we've got you covered for every season. Subscribe today.
Known for its perfect storm of tiny bubbles, it has long been called the champagne of beers.
If you've got the time,
Welcome to the High Life.
we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
All right, so as you mentioned, Sean, Liz took the lead sitting down. She'll come up in her 6th frame here working on a strike. Just want to talk a little bit about this contest. And they had 21,264 entries with nearly 1,424 bowlers receiving awards last year. Net proceeds last year were $15,000. Strike for Liz. Through the years, 56 years, 5,768,200 entries, and over 2 million, nearly 3 million in charity dollars raised.
Yeah, absolutely. The Beat the Champs and the sponsors that help make this event happen every year, giving people something to strive for and bowl against. And this is an amazing event that the Illinois Proprietors and Chicago Proprietors and everyone has put together for the 57th year now. So a couple great shots out of commercial there for Liz. I don't know if you noticed, but Liz was talking to the owner of the bowling center there at commercial break, and I think she was getting some insight or a little help.
Really?
See, it's all who you know. It's not what you do.
Yeah, it's a little bit about wisdom. She's learned that over the years.
Well, she's 43 now, I heard. A little birdie told me that number, so she's got plenty of experience, but she made some great shots. Good shot there for Frankie, bouncing back after the 4-6.
There's a good shot. So if you are interested in participating in this, it's open to all adult league bowlers who have bowled a minimum of 9 games at the time of entry if it's a participating bowling center, and it's the week this year was December 3rd through the 9th, 2017. So 55 bowling centers in metropolitan Chicago participated. And you mentioned the great sponsors and how they help fund it. Let's see. It goes a little high there.
High again, and that's going to be his trouble lane, it seems like, as the day goes on. Even Liz's first shot tripped the 4-pin. Both of them trying to use a little bit of loft to clear the front part of the lane that's catching early. And Frankie has decelled both times, and what that means is just kind of gotten a little soft at the bottom of the swing and trying to force it into the pocket instead of just bowling. So I'm sure he'll make an adjustment in the 10th, but right now Liz Johnson in control.
Covers the spare nicely. And those sponsors, participating bowling centers and contributions from Brunswick Bowling Products, Cubic AMF, Storm, Hammer, KR Strikeforce, OnTheBowlBowling.com, and Miller High Life pay all the administrative and contest expense fees. So then that charity money all goes to Chicagoland charities.
Correct. Another good shot by Liz.
And it's just $3 to enter, I have to say that. So there's no reason not to
I'd
enter.
pay my $3 if I
Do
bowled
you?
league.
Good.
Absolutely. If I was home, I would
Yep.
have done it.
And those of you at home, if you're trying to calculate the scores, you get to add your handicap. So look at what you bowled if you entered during the week, December 3rd through the 9th. Add your 3-game total plus your handicap for 3 games, and that's what you're competing with. Whoa.
So leaves the 4-pin. I was getting ready to give her the jinx already. I was looking at the high game for women was 277 back in 2011, 2012 by Leanne Holzenberg. But with Liz's miss there, she cannot beat it this game. But I have a feeling she has a chance.
So you didn't even have to say it; you just thought it.
I just thought it.
Wow. Powerful.
But still in control. Max score game 1 for Liz Johnson is 247. And I'm mistaken. I forgot that Liz missed in the 4th as well, so she couldn't have beat the high game.
Yeah. Not this game, but I think you're right. She does have a chance. And you appear to be right about the look on the lanes too. It's easier to see for someone else sometimes than to see for yourself.
Absolutely.
Very much so. That's why people have coaches, right?
Absolutely.
Ball reps,
It's
coaches.
amazing what the ball reps are able to do for both the men and the women on tour, even on the senior tours. Just an extra set of eyes. I always try to compare it to golf a little bit. How good would Arnold Palmer have been, and Jack Nicklaus, and even Tiger Woods, and now Jordan Spieth without that caddy carrying that bag, giving us suggestions and layouts and so forth. So it's nice to have that extra help.
Definitely. And this,
So
yes.
10th frame.
Miller High Life Charity Strikes. That's another $100 for the Children's Defense Fund.
$200 left, hopefully, in the 10th frame for Frankie. Max score of 212.
That's not too shabby.
No, not at all.
And he, as you said, he's just Rookie of the Year. So he's just up and coming.
Yeah, I think he's going into his 3rd year now on tour. This was his 2nd full season. Has a very bright future.
Yeah.
Oh, gets the mixer.
Break there. Yes, he was the Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year in 16. Yeah.
Solid start to his career. 3 titles, 2 years on tour. He's got 4 regional wins as well.
And the Southwest Region PBA Rookie of the Year with all those wins as well. Can he get $100 more for his charity? Yes.
Right, so he's perfect 4 for 4 for his Miller Charity strikes, but he's going to be down game 1 to Liz Johnson.
Yes. And Liz is hoping for 3 strikes here. That would be $100 per strike to the Buddy Foundation.
Look a little.
Okay, no strike there. She'll have another shot at it though. Spare it up. One more shot.
She's been an animal lover for many, many years, cats and dogs both, and every year she's been here, I want to say that her charity has been in some way informed towards the animals. And
Yes, it has. And you can see by her shirt,
yeah,
obviously, paw prints all over it.
so a solid game by Liz. Didn't expect anything different.
Nope.
Hit this pocket every shot. Came up high once.
She can shoot 236 with a strike here.
Oh, and the light
Didn't
mixer
get
doesn't
it.
carry. So 235 for Liz Johnson and 212 for Francois.
One game on the record, 2 more to go. Stay with us.
Get Chicago's best sports coverage every day in the Chicago Sun-Times. From game day to players' picks, we've got you covered for every season. Subscribe today.
Intense.
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 Existing or occurring in a high or extreme degree.
Having a characteristic quality in a high degree.
Screw the definition, watch me.
Back in 2005 when I made my first show, I thought that was one of the best moments of my bowling career, one of them. And to win my first title in Reno was just an amazing feat, and it was just icing on the cake for me as far as my bowling career. And it was a very proud moment, a very proud day for me, and I still kind of pinch myself saying that I'm a champion on the PBA tour. So it's still pretty surreal.
All right, so it's still pretty close between the two. Not that they are competing officially.
Oh, they're competing. Early on, it's all
unofficially.
fun and games, but game 3, they get a little bit more serious, and you don't give 5 as often. Give them the stare down eventually.
Francois starting this one with a nice strike.
And he made a pretty good adjustment there in the 10th frame to end game 1. Looked like he kept his ball speed up. For him to have any chance, he's going to have to make good shots like he just did there.
All right. Liz starting game 2.
And that was a ball change.
Same result.
Same result, but definitely a different reaction. The first shot in the 10th was a flat 10. The second shot was a shaker 7, and that one was a ring 10. So she got a little bit more energy as it came off the break point. It'll be interesting to see how long she sticks with that. Will she use the same ball in the left lane now? Nope, she's going back to the one that she used in game 1. So she must like her look on the left lane with the ball that she used in game 1.
And that's a lesson for people to learn, and something a lot of people don't think about at home.
Yeah,
the option of 2 different balls.
Correct, and that's the great thing about our sport is there is so many options and different layouts and covers and so forth. But if you feel comfortable with one ball on one lane, that's okay. And if you can't strike on the other, it's okay to change balls, especially in this environment right now where it's a friendly match and whatnot. I would have to guess if she was bowling a competition on the PWBA tour, she probably would have stuck with that ball going into the next game and tried to do a hand adjustment or a ball speed adjustment. But in a friendly environment, no risk.
And that's also, and I see it as a bowl league, and it's easy to get into, but to remind people to adjust to each lane separately.
Correct.
I see people adjust off the shot on the left lane, on the right lane.
Yeah, we do a lot of camps around the world, and the one thing that we always tell people is your bowling ball is your guide. It's never going to lie to you. If it goes high, you probably need to move left, and if you miss the head pin, you probably need to move right and get closer to friction. So, great shot there, early 3-bagger.
He's looking good.
And a lot of things that league bowlers struggle with too, and even some good amateur players, is we try to do too much after we let go of the bowling ball. And what I mean by that is we try to predict and control the outcome. And realistically, you can't. You can only control the process. And so that's the first 15 feet, and that's the approach part. Once you let go of that bowling ball, I tell everybody this: the man upstairs is the one that's going to dictate if it's going to strike or not. So.
But always watch it. Even if you think you made a bad shot, you can learn off of it.
Correct. And real quick, she went back to the ball she used game 1, so it was just a tester in the first frame for her to see if that other ball was the right ball. Interesting enough, though, she went back to the ball she used game 1. Still ring 10, but she got it to the right a lot sooner. So she's going through a transition right now in game 2 on the right lane only. And this will be an opportunity for Francois to catch up.
this, charity events, obviously they take volunteers and a lot of work by a lot of people and contributions. So we want to recognize some of the people that are here that help at all the Chicagoland events all year long. So the proprietors, of course, here at Elk Grove Bowl, Debbie Handler and her husband Chris, and then Gary Handler, his wife Leslie, and their daughter Lindsay. So we thank them. They did a great job here getting this set up and ready for the show.
Yeah, and we've been here in the past, and they just went through a complete remodel over the last year and a half. They have brand new Brunswick lanes, brand new Brunswick sink scoring. This place looks phenomenal. It's really clean, and just shows them and to everybody in the Chicago area that they love the game, and truly want to thank them for giving back to their bowlers in the sport of bowling by upgrading their facility and making it nice and presentable.
Yes, and bowlers really do appreciate
Absolutely.
that. We have some of our TV sponsors, representatives from Brunswick Bowling Products. Jim Schultz is here. From Miller Coors, we have Matt Krause. He's the key account manager. From KR Strike Force and On the Ball Promotions, Mike Stout. From Hammer Bowling, Phil Rodriguez. And then, of course, our media, which is so critically important. Dale Bowman from the Chicago Sun-Times, who has been writing about bowling for a number of years, and Lisa and Bill Vint, editors and publishers of Windy City Bowling News. Thank them for all the media. We really need all the coverage we can get. I did miss Storm. They are represented by Brad Snell. He is actually the pro shop operator here at Elk Grove Bowl.
Flat 10 there. I thought we had a chance to see a perfect game. I asked Frankie in his interview if he could shoot 300 for us today, and he said he would try his best.
Well, he did just that in the U.S. Open,
Yeah.
right? He shot a 300 in the second game, I think, the semifinal game,
Yep,
against Sean Maldonado.
correct.
Won that 300 to 211 en route to his U.S. Open victory.
I think Frankie's more upset that he missed his Miller High
Carrying the
Life
sentence.
charity strike than anything, but he'll get a couple more
Yeah.
chances in the 10th frame to add on to his Children's Defense Fund charity. Now it's up to Liz to make another $100 for her charity
Yeah.
strike.
You put the jinx on her when you said she made them all last year.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So she changed balls again, back to the one she threw in the first frame and left a 2-pin.
No. So no payout in the fifth frame of the second game.
And that might even be a different ball, which would be her third ball this game. And it is. Two of them were the same ball. One, they're just completely different, or drilled. Oh, I'm sorry. Her and Frankie are throwing the same ball. So that was the same ball she threw the first frame. And it didn't react like she liked, of course, leaving a 2-pin.
So the game has changed quite a bit. It's a lot about bowling ball too, not just,
Absolutely.
used
Bowling
to-
balls make a big difference.
Yeah, you used to have to do it with your hand or your speed, but now you have options.
Correct. Well, now she just picked up a third ball. So now we are onto her third ball of the game, which is hard to believe considering she shot 235 the first game.
Oh.
And that one hooked a lot more, leaving the dreaded big four. So she's going through the transition that Frankie saw at the end of game one. Frankie's going to have the lead sitting on the bench going into the second half of game two.
Yes. And she'll just go for two here. And so we're midway through right now. There'll be more money for charity, so don't go away.
I want to have as much fun as I can, but I also want to come out on top. Liz doesn't lose very often, so it'd be nice to be able to hand her one of those defeats.
All right. As I mentioned, we're midway through. Francois making his comeback against Liz here. There was only 23 pins difference in game one.
And he's already made that up through the first half of this second game, starting with the 4 strikes in a row. And Liz struggling with the pin carry. Oil's starting to carry down the lane, letting Frankie circle the lane a lot more than Liz is.
Some of the other people here enjoying the show and the competition. David Sapanich, he is current president of the Chicagoland BPA and proprietor of Lawn Lanes in Chicago. Bob Stubler, he's the Illinois State BPA president, proprietor of Illinois Valley Super Bowl in Peru, Illinois. Another strike for Francois. Of course, Lyle Zykes, he's the BPA board representative. He's representing Illinois, and he's proprietor of Beverly Lanes in Arlington Heights. And from Chicagoland USBC, we have Keith Kornick. He's the association manager, Chicagoland USBC. He's retiring at the end of January. His replacement is Christy Bills. And there's several members of the boards of directors here. We appreciate them attending.
Great shot by Liz, going back to the ball she used in game 1. She knows she's in a little bit of trouble right now as we approach the end of game 2.
This is where years of experience really do pay off. I mean, you've been in situations over and over. Although everyone's different, I understand, but she has a lot of tricks in her bag to pull out.
Correct, and because it's a charity event, it won't hurt her feelings as much, but I guarantee you she does not want to lose today.
Oh, almost tripped the 9.
A little left, you could see it off her hand. It looked like she slipped at the approach as she was letting go.
Well, the people at home probably have mixed feelings. So you want to watch good scores, you enjoy that, but you also want to be the champ. So.
Well, absolutely, and there's been so many different ranges of scores throughout the years for the target score. I know the 2 years that I've competed for a score, I've had people send me messages, "Why'd you shoot so much?" or "Thank you for not bowling so good." So it goes both ways.
Yeah. I also want to make sure we thank Bill Duff, the executive director of Chicagoland and Illinois State BPAs, who really is mastermind putting all this together. And of course, Joy LaCour, she's the tournament director. She does all the logistics and makes it happen. And she's also our official scorer, keeping us on track.
Doesn't have to do a whole lot of scorekeeping if Frankie keeps striking like that.
No, that's pretty easy. We can figure that
Those
one out.
are easy to add up, 30 at a time.
Yeah. And linksvideo.net from Lisle, Illinois, Dave Lockhart, they are producing this show.
Great group of guys that come out every year. They understand the game. They know where the cameras need to be, and they give you some great footage. So thank you to them. Oh, a light mixer. Got that one a little wide of target.
He's making a big comeback here.
He's going to go into game 3 with a lead. And Liz is going to need to throw a bunch of strikes.
This is usually when she shines.
Great shot there.
Great shot. Liz has 19
for the kids.
PWBA titles, including 10 majors. And a 3-time PBA titleist. Some of those are regional, but we will talk about another title when we come back next game. Or we could now, but she's bowling for her charity strikes, Miller High Life charity strikes, bowling for Buddy Foundation. Be $100 if she strikes here.
Oh.
Man.
Tough break on that one.
5 right in front of the 7 pin.
Going to the pins the right way.
And just laid there in the channel.
We can actually talk about it quickly. She's, Liz actually bowled in the Professional Bowlers Association Chameleon Championship the National Bowling Stadium, and she won the title.
Correct. Winning the first PBA National Championship for her. She became the second female to do so. Kelly Kulik was the first a few years back, winning the Tournament of Champions. Just aired recently on ESPN, which is a great sponsor of the PBA. Pretty cool, exciting match and moment for her, beating Anthony Pepe in the finals.
She's had several firsts. First woman to qualify for a PBA Tour event back in '04. First woman to win a PBA Regional in '05. And the first female to advance to the title match of a PBA Tour event when she finished second at the Banquet Open.
Yeah, she's pretty much, if you look at the first thing that happened for women's bowling, she was one of them. So 180 final score for Liz Johnson.
Yeah, that was
not the game she was
not a
hoping
game.
for. I think the biggest reason why she struggled so much that game, Jan, was too many ball changes. But she was looking for carry, considering it went away in the end of game one. So
That's a strike.
good shot for Francois.
Children's Defense Foundation.
Trying to collect more money for his charity. 2 more to go, hopefully.
Sometimes when you're lost and you start scrambling, it makes it way worse.
Correct, absolutely. And, when the pattern is softer, you just really need to let it go and not try to do too much. And what I mean by softer is a house condition, a recreation condition. And what basically has happened for Frankie is he threw one that he got away with and loosened his swing up, and now he's just freewheeling it. And Liz was hitting the pocket, trying to make it strike, and it went the opposite direction real quick. So I'm sure she'll regroup in the third game and come out firing and put some pressure on him.
So a strike here would be another 100 for Children's Defense Fund, and he could shoot 279 with a strike here. But no, that is not a record on this telecast. For the men,
Not today. So a great game.
awesome game, 279 for Francois. 2 games down. Do you have a chance to beat the champs? Add it up. Stay tuned to find out.
For some, it's 300. For others, it's breaking 100. But it's about so much more than the score. It's about the experience. 10 frames, infinite possibilities. Wishes are granted, hearts broken. Bonds become stronger than ever. It's so much more than gutter balls and strikes. It's the perfect game. Let's go bowling.
For a piece of history, young man. $10,000 bonus. You better believe it, he did it! A perfect 300 game for Francois Lavoie.
The 300 was just more than I could have ever imagined. It was amazing. You know, while I was doing it, you don't really realize what you're doing. But afterwards, everybody came and talked to me. And even now, when I bowl pro-ams or when I meet people, they talk about the 300. That's the main thing they remember about me. So, you know, it's very special and something that'll follow me, I'm sure, for a very long time.
Going into the last game of the 57th annual Chicago Sun-Times BPA Beat the Champs Target Score Show. Liz Johnson and Francois Lavoie are setting the target scores. Sean Rash is here with me. I'm Jan Schmidt. And Liz is behind if you're making it a competition.
Correct, yeah. Liz is in a lot of trouble. She changed balls to the second ball she threw today. She needed to do something. Made a good guess and started off with a strike, so.
It worked, yeah.
Not over yet, even though she's down 76 pins through 2. Anything can be done in one game.
Yes. We've all seen it many times.
But if he keeps
We
striking,
made a mat.
So why was it when she bowled with you last year?
she bowled better. I don't know.
Yeah,
So she's
wait a
bowled
second.
4 times in the past,
Yeah.
and her low score is 678,
Yes.
and her high was against me with 717 last year. So, I wonder why.
You've shot well though. 708 and what a
52.
752.
Yeah, I bowled okay.
Yeah. Really nice.
So off to another good start.
Yep, he doesn't want to give her any room to get going there. Let's talk really quickly. Chicagoland area and Illinois State Bowling Proprietors Association. They're providing a very active promotion and tournament schedule for the adult league bowlers in 18. So there's of course the 38th annual Coors Light BPA Pins Over Average Tournament. You adult bowlers, you must be 21 years of age or older.
Ring 10.
10 again. And it's $5 if it's at a participating bowling center. And first place for men and women is $10,000 each. Second place is a 4-day Las Vegas vacation package.
I like the vacation package.
Yeah, that's February 4th through the 17th.
They get to take us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
When Carmen and I did the show, I always said, hey, well, we'll go. And he goes, no, I don't think my wife will like that. So we never got to go, but yeah.
Maybe 1 year.
Yeah. New this year, in 2018 actually, the ISBPA member bowling centers have partnered with Storm Bowling and are offering midwinter short season have-a-ball leagues featuring popular Storm line of bowling balls. So the centers will have a choice of a bowling ball. It's an 8 to 12 week season.
Good shot, Liz. But she's in trouble.
Yeah. And then you get a ball included in that. So most leagues are going to start in mid-January. And then Chicagoland and Illinois State BPA are doing a lot for youth bowlers also. So there's the Storm Rotogrip Youth Singles Championships, the ISBPA Youth Adult Baker Doubles Tournament, where 8,000 and 6,000 scholarships are awarded. So it's just fantastic.
Well, Frankie is lined up 3 in a row and has his chance to maybe shoot 300 here.
Oh, and I was going to say it. I'm glad you did because I'm off the hook now.
Yeah, it would break the record held by Robert Lawrence in 1992. He bowled 299. Nelson Burton Jr. he bowled 298 in 1976. So both before Frankie was born. So
well,
8 more to go.
You got away with it. You didn't jinx him. Didn't do it though.
Well, if he could do it at the U.S. Open, he should be able to do it here, right? I mean,
This should be easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would be harder in my mind. So Liz has thrown 2 balls on each lane, one on one lane, one on the other.
She's just, that right lane's.
The right lane has gone through transition for her now, like the left lane did last game. So, but today is all about Francois.
Yes. You know, Liz will be going over into a quick frame, and she will have another chance for $100 for the Buddy Foundation from the Miller High Life Charity Strikes. So she'll be shooting for that now, and I want to educate everyone about there's a lot of scholarship money available in bowling, and the ISBPA Grand Prix Scholarship Program, Kids Bowling for College, over 3,000 youth bowlers are a part of that program. They've paid out nearly $2 million in scholarship awards and more than 3,600 recipients since 1990. So make sure you check into that. There's $100.
More money for her charity. And now for her, the rest of this game is all about throwing strikes for the charities of her choice, which was the Buddy Foundation.
Yes. So now does she cut back so that more people can beat her?
Oh, no, not at all. She's not going to give up anything. She's going to finish off as strong as she can. But she's in a lot of trouble since his ball reaction is so good.
And that's another $100 for Children Defense Fund.
Do you have a white towel?
Liz is looking for the white towel.
I got it. I got it.
She's looking for that or the people to send them back to Canada, one or the
Well,
other.
that too. All right, he has the first 5.
Oh, a little
left and ring 10. So.
Maybe I just said he had 5. That was a good run, though. He's thrown a lot of strikes in the last 2 games, game and a half.
And it all took one shot somewhere at the end of game 1 or the beginning of game 2 that loosened his swing up and just changed his whole mindset.
All right, well, we only have a half a game left, so stay with us. Let's see if we can close it out with some more money for the
Known for its perfect storm of tiny bubbles, it has long been called the champagne of beers.
If you've got the time,
Welcome to the High Life.
we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Now that I'm a part of, I guess, the Chicagoland area, living in Palatine now, it's almost like it's a home for me now. And to be able to come out and have fun with it and bowl with the charities and bowl in front of everybody, it's just a fun event.
All right. Before we went to break, Francois left that 10-pin. We were thinking maybe it would be a repeat of his U.S. Open performance in 2016. That was phenomenal. I was there and I watched that in person, and he seemed so calm, cool, and collected. But Sean, talk about shooting some 300s on TV.
Yeah, no, I've been fortunate enough to do it twice. Your body's moving. There's some deep breaths, and for him it was more of towards the later game. It's all right. I've won. I got the bowl for the title now, but the nerves are always going. The nerves aren't flowing. You're not human. So every athlete in every sport has some nerves and some anxiety, and I'm sure that you listen to his player's perspective on the PBA Extra Frame when he talked about his win. He talked about it a little bit, but he was nervous, and he's supposed to be. First time it had ever been done. His first title, first television show.
Yeah, that makes it even more amazing. And then he went on in the championship match to beat Marshall Kent, 228 to 194.
Correct.
Sometimes it's hard to compose yourself after the 300 game.
Both, you are absolutely correct. The first time I did it, it was the first match of a television show. I was very fortunate to get through the second match against Martin Larson. I had the double to win. The second time I did it was at the Tournament of Champions and against Ryan Simonelli, and had the bull Jason Belmonte the next match, and my adrenaline had got to me, and I threw a couple really bad shots to start the match, and it cost me realistically winning that game and bowling for the title. So, yeah, everyone's congratulating you. Your body can't slow down.
Right. Do you have any tips for controlling that adrenaline at all?
Breathe.
Breathe
the best you possibly can. Focus on the shot at hand. Don't worry about the next one. You can't control it. You can't fix anything that's already happened in the past. Learn from it. A lot of the things that younger players struggle with is coping with failure. It's something that happens. Someone's going to win today, but normally it's only one person who does win in the events that we bowl. So.
Sure. I always found routine was important for me.
Routine, absolutely. Doing the same thing over and over, breathing the same way. Notice Frankie's sitting in the same chair every time.
You get some of those
I'm very
superstitions.
superstitious, absolutely. Sit in the same chair, I wear the same jersey on TV Sundays. Trying to create my own brand, of course, but...
Sure. Wow. And that 10-pin again, wow. And I just want to go back and say the support of Beat the Champs founder, Seymour, or Sandy he was called, Shub. He passed away in 1995, and the late sports writer Dave Matthew and current scribe Dale Bowman of the Sun-Times, they've provided support that's unparalleled in bowling. More than 1,800 individual bowlers from 875 plus leagues had their names and scores published. So that's really
a
phenomenal.
lot of coverage from this event. You've had some unbelievable Players Bowl, this event, through the years. Pete Weber, Dick Weber. You think of some of the other names: Lisa Wagner, Tish Johnson, Anne-Marie Dugan.
Sean Rash.
Hey, I got lucky. I didn't win the Open, though. I got the invite.
It's okay. Invites are good.
So many Hall of Famers have bowled this event.
They have. And it's awesome. Liz with a strike there. Just to give our kudos to the 2017 grand prize winners here. The $7,500 in the men's division went to Joseph Diaz from AMF Forest Lanes and Lions. And the women's division champion was Stephanie Thompson from BZ River Grove in River Grove, Illinois. Yeah, they're all in Illinois. So BZ River Grove is the bowl, and it's in River Grove. Going into the 10th frame, here's some more money coming. $100 for every strike he gets here in the 10th from the Miller High Life Charity Strikes. Children's Defense Fund is where he is chosen for the money to go.
Great shot. See if he can bowl back-to-back 279s.
He's only missed one strike for the money, for the Miller High Life money.
And if he strikes out, he will shoot 770, which is 1 pin short of the second highest series ever.
Yeah, Pete Weber.
By Pete Weber in 2007.
Well, not too bad for a 212 start.
Yeah, and for a rookie here today to beat the champs.
Another 100.
I think he's a little comfortable out there.
I think so. I think so. I think he got over his rookie jitters really quickly. I think he wants to come back.
Well, he better win the U.S. Open again. If not, I'm sure they would call him in because he's put on a great show today. Lots of strikes and a very, very tough target score to beat.
Yes. Sorry for those of you at home. But great performance there.
So 11 of 12 today for his charity for the Children's Defense Fund.
Sorry, I miscalculated.
It's all right. So
I
10th
missed
frame
the
for
field
Liz
goal.
and no trip 4.
Oh.
So she has one chance
One more
left
chance. Come on,
for the
Liz.
Buddy Foundation.
Yeah.
I promise you that's all she's thinking about right
I
now
know.
is
I guarantee it. You're
them
right.
puppies
Yep.
and the food that they would get.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I'm passionate about animals, so there's so many worthy charities. It's hard to decide, but you look at some of those poor little animals that don't have food and need help.
So last shot of the 57th beat the champs. Liz Johnson, one of the greatest of all time.
And she got the $100. Way to go, Liz. Shooting a score of 208. So our target scores are set. We'll be right back with all the totals and a few thoughts from Liz and Francois.
Get Chicago's best sports coverage every day in the Chicago Sun-Times. From game day to players' picks, we've got you covered for every season. Subscribe today.
For some, it's 300. For others, it's breaking 100. But it's about so much more than the score. It's about the experience. 10 frames, infinite possibilities. Wishes are granted, hearts broken. Bonds become stronger than ever. It's so much more than gutter balls and strikes. It's the perfect game. Let's go bowling.
All right, we have the target scores set. Ladies, you need to beat 623 with your handicap. And gentlemen, I'm very sorry, but you have to beat 770 with your handicap in order to beat the champ. So Liz, we want to present you with this plaque Our gratitude on behalf of many charities that will benefit from your record 5th TV performance today in Chicago. Chicago Sun-Times BPA Beat the Champs Contest Committee, December 25th, 2017. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I know you were able to earn well-deserved applause as you become a fan favorite here. You're here so often. I know you were able to earn $300 for your charity. Talk about what that means.
It means a lot, you know, anything I can do to help the dogs and cats, all the animals. You know, obviously I would have liked to throw more strikes. Maybe they can give me $25 for every 10 pin I left, but every little bit helps, and just glad it's going to a great charity.
Yes, it'll feed a lot of animals.
Yes.
And what happened today? You know, you always shoot 700. 678 was your low. What happened?
Just couldn't figure out the ball reaction, I guess. You know, I had a good reaction, but, you know, either went a little too long or just took a little too much. And, you know, just try to tweak it a little bit, but it didn't fall the right way. But Frankie bowled awesome.
All right. Good job, Liz. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jan. Frankie, first time here, you proved me wrong. Underdog was the strong guy today, but on behalf of the Chicago Sun-Times BPA Beat the Champs Contest Committee, we'd like to present to you with this plaque.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for coming today. And you earned $1,100 today for your foundation. Let's talk about that, Dan, real quick.
Yeah, thank you. That's pretty amazing. I didn't expect to earn that much, but I was fortunate enough to find the right ball motion there after the first game, and $1,100 is a lot, and I think the charity that I chose, the Children's Defense Fund, is a great charity. Like I said before, I think everyone deserves the same opportunity at life, and you know, they're going to make sure that money goes towards something like that. So
correct. $1,100 will go a long way to the Children's Defense Fund. Let me ask you this question here, though. You might not know who this gentleman is. Andy Verapapa. You bowled a 12-strike perfect 300 game. Andy Verapapa game. Do you even know who he is?
I've heard the name, but yeah. That's all. I've only heard the name.
You only heard the name.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one of the greatest trick shot artists of all time. You can look him up on YouTube. I think you know what Google is now too, right? But thanks for coming today. You bowled unbelievable 770, third highest score ever in Beat the Champs history, and you put on a little show against Liz, so hopefully we'll see you back in the future, but great bowling today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. That about wraps it up for the 57th Annual Chicago Sun-Times BPA Beat the Champs Target Score Show. Thank you for allowing us into your homes on this holiday season, and we want to ask you, go to bowlillinois.com. Learn how you participate, put it on your calendars, make sure you participate next year, be a part of helping Chicagoland charities. Special thanks to Liz and to Francois for donating their time this holiday season. So for Sean Rash and the entire production crew, I'm Jan Schmidt, saying so long from Elk Grove Bowl. Happy holidays, everyone.